So everybody knows that Saudi Arabia has their money in US politics. Everyone from the left with Hillary Clinton all the way to the right with Donald Trump. Today I want to focus mostly on Donald Trump because we can all agree that he is the most powerful person in the United States. And so if there's anyone right now to focus on, it's going to be him. If you guys want me to talk about other politicians in the future, by all means let me know and I'll definitely consider it. But for the time being, let's have a conversation about him. Real quick, I want to show you guys a video of Donald Trump talking about his views on Saudi Arabia. As context, I don't know where he had received the money that he's going to be talking about. There's no sort of records on that. The only closest reference we have is in 2001, Saudi Arabia spent $12 million to buy the 45th floor of the Trump Tower in New York City, right across from the United Nations buildings. Some reports say it was only about $4.5 million, but anyway, that's the best that we can do. Otherwise, we have no idea what kind of money that he's receiving, either before, most likely before, but also potentially during his presidency as well. Just a heads up.
Saudi Arabia, and I get along great with all of them. They buy apartments from me, they spend 40 million, 50 million. Am I supposed to dislike them? I like them very much.
Well, that was pretty interesting. When President Trump began running for office, he actually registered 8 new businesses in Saudi Arabia. So to name a couple, one of which was THC Jeddah Hotel Advisor LLC, and the other was DT Jeddah Technical Services, and this is all according to a 2016 financial disclosure report to the federal government. Now, Trump's organization, called the Trump Organization, had said that he had closed down these businesses after he had gotten into office, but I can neither confirm nor deny that. I don't think any of us really know at the end of the day unless you live in Saudi Arabia. Okay guys, moving forward, in 2017, Saudi Arabia actually donated $100 million to Ivanka Trump's global initiative to improve women's rights in Gulf countries. Well, there's really 2 perspectives on this. Number 1, oh look, that's good for them. They are finally doing something about women's rights. Or number 2, no, that's bullshit. They're definitely getting something out of this. They're greasing some palms because they're going to get a deal probably in the near future as a result of that. As you could probably tell, I am in the second camp. Well, fun fact, also in 2017, there is a weapons deal between the United States and Saudi Arabia. It is worth $350 billion over the next 10 years and $110 billion that would take place immediately. What did I say? There we go. That explains it. There we go. I don't really think that they care too much about women's rights. Yeah, guys, look, I'm going to go on a little side rant for a second about this company called Lockheed Martin, which is definitely going to profit as a result of this. Now, they're worth $54 billion. They have 105,000 employees across the United States. Generally, with weapons manufacturing companies like this, they will expand their company in all 50 states. The reason why they do that is because it is very difficult for a politician to try to break them up and stop these weapons deals. Because if they stop these deals or they break up these companies, it's going to hurt their constituents because their constituents are going to get fired and they're not going to vote that politician back into office. That's some sly, sleazy shit right there. End of my rant about Lockheed Martin. One of the reasons why the Trump administration may also want to approve of this deal, aside from the fact that, what's-her-face, Ivanka Trump just got $100 million, is Iran. Iran and Saudi Arabia do not like each other. Iran is Shia Islam and Saudi Arabia is Sunni Islam. And the United States also wants to overthrow the Iranian government in order to get their oil like we did with Iraq. And so that's one of the reasons why the weapons deal is currently in place. The other is Yemen. Look, guys. Yemen is one of the worst places right now in the world. There is a genocide that Saudi Arabia is starting against the Yemeni people. Originally, in 2015, Saudi Arabia decided to wage a war to counter these people called the Houthi rebels, but the entire Yemeni population was affected as a result of this. This war is so bad to where the war hawks on the right and the people who really want war on the left, the establishment Democrats and the far left, all agree that we need to stop selling weapons to Saudi Arabia because of how bad the Yemeni war is getting. Even though there's bipartisan consensus on this, the Trump administration actually blocked a bipartisan bill to end the US support for the Saudi war. Now we know why. Let me give you guys a little bit more information about the war in Yemen. So 130 kids are dying every single day. And according to the Mercy Corps, 3.3 million people are displaced. meaning 3.3 million people are homeless in Yemen. That's nuts. To put this in perspective, that is Chicago and an extra 700,000. That is Chicago and another city, probably one of the cities that you live near in whatever state. Typically, cities in the United States, with the exception of LA and New York City, have about 700,000 or less. For me, I live in Portland, so it would be Chicago plus Portland plus another 100,000. So yeah, guys, overall, I hope this video starts to bring a little bit more attention about how Saudi Arabia has influence within the US political system and kind of what are the outcomes. Who are we selling weapons to? What countries are we not helping, like Yemen? And hopefully someone's able to take something new away from this and talk to other people about it.